Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into NIVA BUPA health insurance.
Yeah, looking at their recent performance and where they might be heading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got their latest earnings call presentation, the transcript too, and a recent credit rating report. Lots to dig into.
Quite a bit. And our goal really is to distill it all down for you.
Give you that clear picture of how they're doing in this, well, pretty dynamic Indian health insurance market. Maybe find some aha moments.
Definitely. And it's interesting how these different sources together show more than just numbers, right? You get a sense of the strategy, the thinking behind it.
Absolutely. So let's pull back the curtain on the financials first. FY25. The numbers are quite something.
They really are.
Their gross written premium, GWP, that grew by 32%. Well, that's if you adjust for an accounting change.
Right, the 1N thing they mentioned.
Yeah. And even with that change, it's still up 21%. Solid growth either way.
Very solid. And the profit after tax, the PPA.
Oh, that was remarkable. Up 161% under Indian GAAP and 91% under IFRS. That's serious momentum.
It is. And, connect that to their solvency ratio. It's sitting at 3.03x.
Which is way above the minimum needed, right? Like 1.5x.
Way above. It signals real financial strength. Plus, they raised 800 crore from their recent IPO.
Right. Part of that larger euro, the 1,600 crore in fresh equity they've pulled in over the last couple of years.
Exactly. So it paints a picture of a company that's not just growing fast, but is really well funded for whatever comes next. Expansion, investment.
Confidence. Okay, so they've got the financial muscle. How are they actually doing it? Where's the growth coming from?
Seems like a lot is tied to strategic moves and focusing on the customer.
Like that new product they launched, Rise, I think it was called, back in February.
Yeah, Rise. And that's specifically targeting India's missing middle.
Explain that term a bit more for us, the missing middle.
Sure. It's basically that huge group of people in India. They aren't eligible for government schemes, but traditional private health insurance is often just too expensive for them.
So a massive untapped market.
Huge. And by creating affordable options, NIVA BUPA isn't just, doing good. It's strategically very smart. It could really change the scale of insurance penetration.
And it seems like their focus on customer experience is working too. Their net promoter score, the NPS, went up.
Yeah, the weighted episodal NPS improved to 55, and their claims settlement ratio is consistently high, around 92.4%.
Which is key for trust in insurance.
Absolutely.
So how are they managing all this? Growth, quality service, efficiency. Seems like a tricky balance.
Well, this is where their tech investment really shines. The earnings call was pretty clear on this.
What were the stats?
Get this, 99.9% of new policies applied for digitally.
Wow. Almost everything.
Yeah. And 88.3% of renewals happen with no human intervention.
Automated.
And maybe the most impressive, 86% of cashless claims processed in under 30 minutes.
Under 30 minutes. That's fast.
It's incredibly fast. It fundamentally changes how insurance works, moving past old models. That's a real aha moment, I think.
No wonder their retail health market share is up to 9.4%. One of the fastest growers.
Definitely.
But, okay, let's face the complexities. The health insurance industry isn't simple. There's this rising claims ratio we hear about, 61% overall, 68% for retail health at NIVA BUPA.
Yeah, that's a factor, no doubt. But it needs context. NIVA BUPA reported their average claim size grew by 5%.
Okay.
They see that as a proxy for medical inflation. And historically, their claim size CIGR is around 6.57%. So that 5% isn't wildly out of line.
So it's related to rising healthcare costs generally.
Largely, yes. And they are actively trying to manage it. They talked about their preferred partner network, the PPN.
Right, covering 600 hospitals.
In 40 cities.
Yeah.
The idea is to ensure quality care, but at more affordable costs through negotiated rates.
A practical step.
Yeah.
Which is important context, especially given some of the, negative press the industry sometimes gets. You hear stories about claims rejections, disputes with hospitals.
Exactly. That perception is out there. But here's where looking at the data, like from that credit report, is crucial.
What does the data show?
Well, it actually suggests industry-wide improvements in claim settlement rates overall, and complaints per policy have actually reduced.
Even though the total number of complaints might go up just because the market itself is growing.
Precisely. So the data can paint a different picture than, the loudest anecdotes. It's really important for you listening to look beyond just the headlines sometimes.
Good point. Okay, so wrapping this up. We've seen NIVA BUPA's Strong financials, their strategic plays like Rise for the missing middle, the big tech focus driving customer experience.
And how they're navigating those industry challenges with data and specific strategies like the PPN.
Right. So what does this all mean for you? Well, we've seen their approach, but here's something that maybe mull on. India has this big vision, right? Insurance for all by 2047.
A huge goal.
So how might these kinds of targeted strategies, like NIVA BUPA, focusing on that missing middle, actually influence the bigger picture? Could focusing on specific underserved groups be the key to making health insurance truly accessible and affordable across the whole country in the coming years? Something to think about.